I knew it was going to be bad. I wasn't exactly sure what that meant or how fast it would happen, but it happened, and this is how bad it's going to get. In 2020, my daughter was in a sophomore year in high school. Okay. And if you remember 2020, COVID in March was basically the start of the whole thing. They shut down her school. That was a chance my wife, my daughter, and myself moved out of Southern California. If you know where Temecula is, okay, it's just above San Diego, south of Riverside, east of LA. Okay. I lived in Paris, pretty much worked. Kids went to school in this town called Menifee. Well, Temecula is just south of that. And so I'm reading the story about how now, students are having to sign mental illness forms to say that they can be excused from changing with the opposite sex in their locker room. If you haven't been following the story, the Temecula Valley School District is allowing transgender free people, boys that think they're girls, to go into the women's locker room and change. Now, this is high school we're talking about. Girls, boys, everybody at that age has some kind of, fear of, they just don't know who they are yet. All these different aspects of growing up through puberty and everything. And it's like, okay, number one, these transgender kids might have a mental illness, more than likely, but at the same time, you're now putting them in the general population with everybody, and now everybody has to suffer from this whole thing. So I just don't understand it. But if you're reading these stories and what the reports and what's actually happening is they are making the girls sign forms saying that they have a mental health issue and don't agree and can't change in front of boys. How is that fair? How I'm wondering too. All right, so say perfect world, this girl says, "Hey, I have a mental health illness because I don't want to change in front of a boy." Where's that go on the record? Does it stay on there for the job application? Like, do you have to report that, hey, you have a mental illness? Does it go on your college application? Does it go into the system? So say when she wants to buy a Second Amendment and something happens and it's on her report because she stated that at one time in high school she had a mental illness, so now she doesn't qualify to get a Second Amendment? All right. Those questions need to be answered, number one, because now you're forming this person and the rest of their history is going to be determined on what they feel like in high school. Oh, I heard that before with butchering too. But there's definitely a reason now to homeschool kids. I mean, to bring back in, and if there's any advertisement for that, go for it. I mean, attendance is already low at schools because everybody's afraid of illegal immigration in Southern California. But now you got this going on too. And it's like, yeah. Why would you even want to send your kid? So I'm glad. I'm glad I took my kid out of that school. Thankfully, my son was already in college and away out of California. So that was fine. That was good. Another reason why we knew that he wanted to go there. But before all this happened, but man, am I glad we moved. And now I read a report that I'm going to read. This is the saddest portion of population today is the young people. So there was this study done by economists and David Blanchflower, Alex Bryson, and Zoe Zhu. And they find young people across the world are now reporting the highest level of misery of any age group. And they use the word misery. And I'm like, wow, that's a hard word. Not just sad, not just depressed, misery. And they put it at the end of the report. They're like, why we don't understand why this young generation is so depressed. Because yeah, they shouldn't be depressed, okay, but they are. And maybe it's because of stories like this and what's happening in their schools. Maybe they don't want to share. Maybe they don't want to admit that they have a mental health illness. Because right now, a perfectly natural person who's very happy in life, who just doesn't want to do one thing, now has to admit that they have a mental illness. That's a problem. Hey, yeah, by the way, labeling theory, look at that. Go ahead. Yeah, you're mentally ill because you don't want to do this one thing. They're being told, of course, that this country is bad as they grow up. It's racist. It's horrible. It was never great. So this is where we're at. This is what they're being told about the country that they live in. They're also being told that one political side, or basically roughly half of the country, is another problem, either racist or mentally ill or anything else. They're just the devil is what they're trying to tell them on that one. And no, like you can't continue to say that this is just a horrible organization. Don't listen to that party because they're bad people. And then there's the whole thing, go back to the helicopter and the helicopter parents and all the other issues where it was like, okay, as long as you did your best, as long as you tried hard, you still get the ice cream. Everybody gets a trophy. And now kids, young generation, Generation Z, Generation X, the millennials, they're realizing that, yeah, you don't get ice cream for a half concerted effort. And if you fail in life, there isn't a trophy. It's basically more misery, according to this report. So this one hit close to home because I still have friends that live in that area. I'm kind of curious to hear them comment about what's going on. If I'm catching on, is this what's really happening? What you're seeing, and their kids that are in these schools, are they having this issue? Modesty and safety is just basically gone out the window. So one very, very, very tiny group can feel accepted because they don't accept the way that they are, and their parents allow this stuff to happen. And it's a hard time too because of the other things going on in the country. And so we're talking about Southern California. Now I'm switching gears, going to Minnesota. This is a problem in Nashville too, for that matter. And not too long ago, you're seeing more problems going on because we're allowing this and we're saying that it's okay. And we're telling our perfectly normal kids that they have a mental issue because they have to accept this quote unquote. It's time to stand up. We got to do something. We can't do this. We can't continue this. It's not healthy. Just admit it. It's not healthy. Temecula Valley School District, do better. Protect our kids. Remove this ridiculous thing that you put on normal people. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to follow this story. We're going to keep looking at this. Pray for our country. The other half political party is not the devil. The world's not entirely racist. All of the things that you learned, but you need to work hard no matter what happens. You don't always get ice cream. You don't always get a trophy. Continue to work hard and live up to your potential. It's truth between lines. Between the lines.